matter with you? How many times I gotta tell you? You don't finish the act with a downer, period.
I wanted to sing it. I don't care if you didn't like it. They did.
Go take a bow.
I'm not. I'm leaving.
I said go take a bow.
You take the bows, Neil. You've taken everything else.
Terrific, Becky. Terrific. They loved you.
Did they just? Sometimes I wonder. I just really wanted to touch them tonight. I wanted to reach out and touch them, and there was this wall, this something.
Hey, this tour will be good for you. Maybe like it used to be.
I told Neil, no tour for a while, no nothing for a while.
But the song, the one I wrote for you. You were going to use it in Dallas Saturday.
Is that all you ever think of, Jess? You, your song?
Hey, that's a good song, Becky.
It was better the first time you wrote it 4 years ago. I'm sorry, Jess. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. You know I didn't. It's just everything I've been going through.
Sure, it's okay. It's all right, baby. Here. Jesse's got everything laid out for you. Your pills, vitamins, the whole works.
Thanks, Jess.
See you later, baby.
Feeling better?
He made it easy for me.
Well, everything went smoothly. No complications. If you're feeling up to it, you can go home.
Oh, I'm all right.
Sure.
Dr. Reed, I don't know how to thank you. When I first came to you 3 weeks ago, I was so frightened. I was ready to...
It's all right, Rebecca. You go home now. Stay off your feet. And if you need me, I'm available 24 hours. Come on, smile. I'll see you in a couple of days. Yes? Rebecca, what's the matter? Did you take anything? Look, don't move around. I'll be right over. This is Dr. Martha Reed. I have an emergency. Send an ambulance to the Bayside Motel in Malibu. Right. You don't have to tell me what the autopsy report says, Griff. A massive hemorrhage. But I gave her a complete examination. There were no complications. I just don't understand. Look, why am I being held?
You performed an operation. The patient died.
A legal operation?
Well, they can't find the surgical consent.
Well, she signed one.
Martha, you were never one for paperwork, you know.
Not this time, Griff. I'm a good doctor.
Of course you are.
She came to me for help. A massive psychosis, pregnant, terrified of bearing a child, almost suicidal.
Sit down, please.
Did you see the looks on the faces of those policemen out there? Abortionist, backroom mechanic, fast buck doctor. And that manager, Davis, he's holding a press conference right outside the door. I can imagine what he's saying.
Will you please sit down and stop worrying about what they are saying, what they are thinking? I need your help. The sooner we find out exactly what happened to Rebecca Wilde, the sooner you're out of here.
All right. I'm sorry, Griff.
Now, what medication did you give her?
Nothing. She might have been taking tranquilizers. I can't be sure about that.
Did anyone come with her to your office?
No. She came alone.
Did she drive herself?
No, it was a company limousine, I think. She sent it away. When she left, she took a cab.
Oh. And she went straight to the motel?
I assume that's where I told her to go.
What time was this?
About 10:30, I think.
Good. We'll look after you, don't worry. You called your lawyer?
No. I thought if you were on the case,
Martha, there are three possibilities here. It was an act of God, or something happened to you in the operation. Not that anything did. Or someone wanted that poor girl dead. Call your lawyer.
All right.
And don't fret. You're all right.
Thank you, Griff.
I'll call you soon. Thank you, George.
That's the name she used. It's all the same to me. Half the people that come in here don't know who they are.
Any visitors?
Well, she could have. I don't know.
You don't know very much, do you?
I got 25 units to worry about.
Right. Any phone calls?
She made 3. That I know because they all go through the switchboard.
It's an unlisted number, Barney. Can you put a name and address to it? Good. Thank you, my friend. I'll call you back. What did you find out about the phone call that Rebecca made to a Karen Lacey?
Nothing as yet, but I'll keep trying.
Comfortable?
Griff, look, I know Martha Reed's a friend of yours, but have you ever considered that maybe she could have loused up?
No.
Well, maybe she's not the same doctor she used to be.
Martha Reed saved my daughter-in-law's life, saved my grandchild's life when everybody else had just about given them both up.
Fine, but that was 9 years ago, Griff.
I owe that woman. You know what happened in the hospital 9 years ago? My son Jerry was caught in traffic. There was no one to sign the surgical consent. Now, a lot of doctors would have played it safe. Martha Reed went in there and she operated without a consent. She risked her whole professional career, but she saved 2 lives. Now, Martha Reed doesn't make mistakes, and she didn't louse up with Rebecca Wilde.
I only asked.
And I just answered.
Where are you going?
Going to visit the bereaved manager.
Neil Davis?
Yeah. I want to find out just how bereaved he really is.
Oh, yeah, buddy, I know. The word is tragic. I love that little girl like a sister, you dig? Oh, you better believe it. Really bad news. Hey, listen, I got somebody here right now. Can you call me this afternoon with the bottom line on the memorial concert deal? Hey, listen, man, I can guarantee the name artist to perform, but you gotta guarantee me a house. And no out clauses from you this time, you dig? Okay. Later. Ciao. They're bloodsuckers. You see how they run? They smell the bread and they want to cash in on Rebecca's death. I gotta do this in good taste so her death doesn't become a circus, Mr. Griffin.
Mr. Davis, we were talking about the baby.
Yeah.
It was going to be your child.
Why, sure. I've never tried to cover up my relationship with Rebecca.
Did Miss Wilde tell you she was going to have an abortion?
No. As a matter of fact, we were looking forward very much to having that baby. We were both very much in love, Mr. Griffin.
Why do you think she had the abortion?
I don't know. Some spur-of-the-moment decision. That doctor botched it up. Believe me, if I'd known about the operation, I would have stopped it cold. Look at the publicity I could have gotten out of that kid.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Oh, listen. You sure have a lot of corporations.
That's the way the business operates, Mr. Griffin. That was as much for Rebecca's protection as mine.
Yeah, sure it was.
Yeah.
Sure it was. Thank you.
Okay.
You know, haven't we met sometime before today?
Yeah, man, I'm Jesse Cable. You played backup guitar for Becky.
Yeah, that was your song, wasn't it?
Yeah, one of them.
Could have sworn that I'd seen you before. Maybe on an album cover.
Hey, Jesse.
Why are you putting up the ivy?
Rats. And we want to get them out of here.
Well, getting the ivy out, get rid of the rats?
That and a little poison. Mr. Griffin, forget something?
No, didn't forget a thing.
I don't like it, Neil. I don't like the idea of him poking his nose around here. Suppose he finds out.
He won't find out anything.
Suppose he does. Suppose he gets to Woods.
Jesse, you just keep your mouth shut tight. I'll take care of Mr. Griffin, and I'll take care of Mr. Woods. Now, if I get put in a squeeze, I know I can depend on you to get me out.
Fresh out of our new computer, so I can't guarantee the accuracy. Joseph Benson, alias Joe Thompson, except now he calls himself Jesse Cable. 1964 assault with a deadly weapon, 1965 armed robbery.
Rebecca Wiles, guitar player.
Now on the other report.
The one on Karen Lacey?
I'll have it for you tomorrow morning.
Were you able to check out that unlisted number I gave you?
Griff, you're something else.
Why? What?
How long am I going to have to wait?
All right, wait for what?
Till I become a partner. All I do is do your legwork.
Oh, well, is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Doesn't show down here.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Oh.
I lost 3 pounds.
I told you it didn't show.
Yeah. Yeah, here it is. Christopher Wood, Marbury Park, lives in a lakefront cabin.
Christopher Wood?
Yeah, I understand he's some kind of writer.
Yeah, with 2 Pulitzer Prizes, I'd say he's some kind of writer. Well, thank you, Barney.
That lousy screenplay to anyone, and I'll slap you with a lawsuit that'll break in half.
Don't get tough with me, Davis.
Listen, Woods, I'm warning you.
And you know something? I don't care about your lawsuit, but when you call my screenplay lousy, those are fighting words.
Don't get smart with me, Pally. Just don't forget what I told you.
Porter in Chicago on Thursday?
No.
There's that hospital charity thing on Sunday. I think you should go.
Okay, but only if they have booze. No more of this coffee and crumpet stuff.
I'll check it out.
Mr. Woods, excuse me.
Yes?
If I may have a couple moments of your time.
Wade Griffin, private detective. That'll be all, Evelyn.
Yes, sir.
Oh, one of the fringe benefits of the business I'm in, particularly if you're a dirty old man like I am. Well, Mr. Griffin, what is it that you private detect?
Hi. I'm not getting too far with that opening today. Excuse me. My name is Mike Murdoch. I'm looking for Mr. Griffin.
Oh, I believe he's out back with Mr. Woods.
Thank you. What's your name?
Miss Gray.
Miss? That's a funny first name. Mine used to be Mr., but I changed it to Mike. Oh.
Evelyn.
Evelyn. Thank you, Evelyn. See you later.
Yes, Becky called me from the motel that night. To confirm a luncheon date, actually. You see, I was writing a screenplay for her. Her first flick. Mine, too. Then I suppose even giants must fall.
You know, I couldn't help overhear Mr. Davis. He didn't sound too pleased with what you're doing.
No, I shouldn't think he would be. The man was stealing her blind. And the screenplay shows that every rotten deal. Naturally, he was a little upset.
Yeah. So it was biographical.
Oh, of course. I think, Becky might have made a really fine actress. Of course, I don't suppose we'll ever know now, will we?
I gather you were interested in her.
Interested? Mr. Griffin, for a private detective, you are singularly unworldly. No, I was in love with the girl. I suppose that's not particularly newsworthy in my case, is it?
Well, I did see your name in the columns rather frequently.
But this was different somehow. We were going to be married. Live in Geneva. I have a place there. It's even paid for. I guess it was a pretty tough decision for her. She was very worried about Davis. You know something? I didn't even know she was pregnant.
Well, I just assumed.
I'm not even sure it's my kid, Griffin, but I just assume you kept that to yourself. You see, she was under Davis's thumb. And I'm sure she felt that she had to make a clean break from him. I dare say the abortion was the final step.
Yes, if it was his child. Well, did Rebecca ever mention a Karen Lacey?
No, Becky never spoke of a Karen Lacey. Is she someone important?
Not in the way you mean important. Do you think the screenplay will be produced now that Miss Wilde is...
Rebecca Wilde, Jane Smith, Betty Smith. There's a new one at every bus stop.
Bye, Mr. Woods.
I finished the last 10 pages. In the desk, middle drawer.
Okay.
I'd appreciate it if you get to them this afternoon.
All right. All right, I'll look at them. You know, Evelyn, you're really a great kid. I mean that. A great kid. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Thank you, Christopher. It's very kind of you to say that.
Griff? Griff?
Well, one more thing, Barney. Did they find any tranquilizers in that motel room? No? Oh. Well, I'll check back with you about that later. All right, thank you. Rebecca was taking something, but they don't know what.
Griff, I'm not getting anywhere. I don't understand it. I've been checking up on Davis's company. When I find one corporation, it leads to 3 others, and they're all owned by the same holding company.
Now, take it easy. You know what it adds up to, Griff? Neil Davis had her all tied up. No, Woods had it pegged right, man. He was robbing her blind.
Oh, but legally, Mike, legally, Davis is a very shrewd operator.
Yeah, well, who says legally? Maybe he made a mistake. Maybe that's why Davis is so uptight about this screenplay. Hey, you know what I could do? I could talk to Evelyn.
Evelyn?
Well, she's not much to look at.
I'll bet.
But if the expense account could stand dinner for 2?
Yeah, that's a good idea, Mike. Good idea. Take it to Farino's.
Well, actually, Griff, I've already made reservations at the Belterre.
Oh, the Belterre. You have time for someone who's not a patient?
Oh, Griff, you're just what the doctor ordered. No joke intended.
Said she, making the joke. For you.
Oh, how lovely.
Listen, I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
No. My mind's a blank. Can't seem to focus on anything.
We should let me do the worrying while you tend the patients.
What patients?
Well, I've got some good news for you. They found the surgical consent. So there are no criminal charges. Once you get past the medical hearing...
Oh, Griff, don't you see? It isn't just a medical hearing. Even if the board finds me innocent, you know what the papers will say. Whitewash. Cover up.
No.
Doctors sticking together, protecting their own.
No, it's not going to be...
Do you know what they call me?
What?
Butcher. No, I see them in the morning. On the streets, staring, whispers. People trying to get a good look at the woman who killed Rebecca Wilde.
Oh, sit down. You're not as tough as I thought you were. I need to ask you some questions. Here now, listen. Did Rebecca Wilde tell you who the father of the child was?
No. No, I just assumed it was her manager. That Davis man, the papers all said that...
I'm not interested in knowing what the papers said. What about friends? Did she ever mention a Karen Lacey?
Nothing. She never volunteered, and I never asked.
Yeah.
Guess I should have been a better detective. It's important.
Might be.
This is very extravagant.
A beautiful setting for a lovely lady.
Oh, don't you think that's a little much, Mike? See, I don't picture you here at all. You're much more the takeout chicken type.
Guilty. But I've been saving up.
I'm flattered. Now, why don't we get to the point?
I beg your pardon?
Why you asked me out? What do you want to know?
Oh, you really,
I won't be offended.
Well, I was curious about Woods' screenplay and what he had to say about Neil Davis. I mean, I know he's a crook, you know he's a crook, but legally, is he a crook?
Mm-hmm.
How can you be so sure about that? I mean, Woods is not a lawyer.
Mike, I hold a master's degree in economics, and I'm a very good researcher. And when I tell you that Neil Davis is a criminal, you can count on it. It's a big part of the story. You know, poor little girl becomes hit singer and is financially raped by an unscrupulous manager. Believe me, Christopher wouldn't have written it if it weren't true.
Oh, Christopher.
It's not like that. Anyway, not anymore. Business and pleasure never mix. He likes people to think we're still mutually attracted to one another. Actually, his career means more to him than anything else.
Was it Rebecca that changed your relationship?
It wasn't Rebecca. We were back on a business basis before she ever met him.
And Woods being in love with Rebecca didn't bother you, huh?
Certainly not.
Like that, huh?
Like that. Now, have we covered the point of this little meeting?
Well, we've covered the business, but definitely not the point.
Oh.
Hey, the place is empty. Where'd everybody disappear to?
Where they disappear to?
Yeah.
They're out working. What do you think this is, a country club?
Oh, not with a menu like that. Don't you ever eat anything except pastrami on rye?
I happen to like pastrami on rye.
Well, other things to eat.
Yeah, I believe that. Suppose you want a cup of coffee with that?
No, I don't think so. A little more mustard next time, maybe.
I don't remember that. You know, I can't afford lobster thermidor every day. Even if I had the time, which I don't.
Barney, I love the way you're mellowing into this job. Did you ever know Rebecca Wilde's manager, Davis, was embezzling her funds?
What's that got to do with her death?
I'm not sure yet, but it's the first motive I found.
You forgetting Rebecca died from an abortion?
Not according to my books.
Okay, I won't argue with you at this point. I have that other report for you.
Tranquilizers? No. Becky never left anything like that around here.
She was here that afternoon, though. The day she died.
Well, of course. We were discussing the screenplay together. If she'd left any pills here, I would have known it.
Was Rebecca being blackmailed by a George Bates?
Why would anyone want to blackmail her?
Oh, it was just a thought. You've been most cooperative. A screenplay by Christopher Woods. Is this the one you were talking about?
I had it photocopied myself.
Are we going to see this in the movies?
Well, now, that depends. I'll be sending them out tomorrow. We'll just have to wait and see.
It's been much too long since you last published.
A fan, huh?
Yes, a big fan.
Well, in that case, here you go. The Last Ballad. Now, mind you, it is a rough draft, but I'd be very happy if you'd take it home, read it, and let me know what you think.
Well, I'm honored. I mean, I really am honored. Thank you very much, Mr. Woods.
Mr. Griffin?
You okay, mister?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Who do you figure it was? Davis? Or maybe Jesse Cable? You know, according to Evelyn Gray, they both have pretty good reasons for wanting to scare us off this case. Sure you don't want to see a doctor?
No, just a bruise. Now, they were stealing from Rebecca.
Yeah. Not too smart about it either, so she says.
The pills. Gotta find those pills that Rebecca was taking. Jesse Cable put the pills in the limousine for her, right?
Yeah, according to Barney, yeah.
All right, then we gotta start all over from the beginning. Talk to the limo driver. Lean on him a little. And don't take I don't know for an answer.
Right. Okay, one more time. Who gave you instructions?
Jesse Cable. He ordered the limousine and told me where to take Miss Wilde.
Did you take her straight to the medical building?
Where else?
Did you find a container of pills in the back seat?
Oh, sir. It was empty.
Huh?
The container. I only found it the day after.
Where's it now?
In my apartment. Look, I was going to turn it in, but when I found out the girl was dead, I didn't want to get involved.
Let's go.
Huh? Now? Now.
Zenefrin. Weren't any pills in the bottle, but there were traces of Zenefrin on the cotton, according to the pathology lab.
What is Zenefrin?
It's an anticoagulant, Gracie. Sometimes used by heart patients. And in large enough doses, it can cause massive hemorrhage.
Then Rebecca Wilde was...
Of course. Somebody knew that poor girl was going to have an abortion.
Griff, maybe we better go to Barney with this.
With what? What do we have here? Nothing. Autopsy didn't show up anything. The cotton could have picked up traces of the chemical at the pharmacy where the prescription was filled. But if Jesse Cable subsequently...
Griff, this was given to her by Martha Reed. That is her name, right there on the bottle.
I know.
Zenefrin. Oh, my God. Then that explains the autopsy report. Because Zenefrin's almost impossible to detect.
Martha, think back. Is it possible that you or your nurse could have given her the wrong drug? Perhaps a sample lying around.
Do you think
or
I'm
maybe
crazy?
you suggested that she take it without thinking, of course, that
Griff, I'm not a fool. In Rebecca's condition, a dose of Zenefrin would have caused massive bleeding. Look, if I botched it, I wouldn't hide behind the Hippocratic Oath, and I wouldn't have you bailing me out. But an empty pill bottle with my name on it as the prescribing doctor.
But that's not evidence.
But it's a clue, isn't it? And the clue points to me. If it didn't, you wouldn't be here.
Now, you listen to me. I don't care how many clues point to you. Nothing in the world is ever going to convince me that you were responsible for that poor girl's death. End of topic?
Griff, do you think she might have taken the drug knowing what would happen?
Not suicide? No. Why have the abortion? She wanted to live. There was someone who did not want her to live. It's murder.
Hello, Griff. Barney. Thought you might be interested to hear what Bates and Miss Marlowe had to say about Rebecca Wilde.
Interested is putting it mildly, Barney.
Miss Marlowe claims Bates killed both Karen Lacey and Rebecca Wilde.
What does Bates say?
He confessed to the murder of Karen Lacey and to the blackmailing of Rebecca Wilde.
Did he say why he blackmailed her?
It seems Rebecca was a prostitute before she took up singing, and Karen was insisting Bates let her friend Rebecca off the hook. Plus, Karen wanted a bigger slice of their take.
And that's it?
I'd say that's enough to prove your theory that Rebecca was murdered is all cockeyed. Sorry, Griff. As I said before, as far as I'm concerned, the file on Rebecca Wilde is closed.
Sure like to agree with you, Barney, but I can't. It's not that black and white.
Griff, don't you ever know when to quit?
On rare occasions. Thanks for the information, Barney.
Good evening.
Well, hi. How was your day at the library?
Productive.
Oh, by the way, while you were out yesterday afternoon, I had the service run off some copies of the screenplay.
Oh, I wanted to retype that before you took it in.
Doesn't matter what it looks like. The important thing is to get it out now while it's a hot item. Why don't you go ahead and get started addressing some of the envelopes, huh? Hello.
Mr. Woods, Wade Griffin.
Oh, Mr. Griffin. I was just about to call you. I understand you had quite a scare since I saw you last.
Well, where'd you hear that?
Well, there are not too many of us around up here this time of year. News spreads. What can I do for you?
Well, earlier today I asked you about Rebecca's tranquilizers, and I was wondering if you had had any time to check around for them.
Yes. Well, no, she didn't leave them here.
Oh, well, thank you very much for your trouble.
Oh, Mr. Griffin?
Yes?
Did you, well, did you get a chance to look at the screenplay?
Well, as a matter of fact, I did. I must say I liked it very much.
Oh, good, good.
If you need it back,
Oh, no, you hang on to it. Consider it a souvenir.
Well, how very kind of you. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Griff, I just checked with the drug supply house. Xenophen's used in several commercial items.
For example, rat poison?
How did you know?
Mike, first thing in the morning, I'd like you to get onto the Davis estate somehow. I just remember something his gardener said to me about rats on the premises.
Four-legged kind or the two-legged kind?
Well, he's spreading rat poison. Try to get a sample.
Yeah, I think so. Water control, where's your pool?
Out back. Who'd you say you were?
Murdoch. We got a report there's a sump backing up about a mile from here, and we're checking on chlorine botulism.
No kidding, huh? Sounds bad.
You know it, man. You ever seen a victim of chlorine botulism?
Huh.
Terrible sight, terrible. Thanks.
Charlie, who's here? A man from the city. Something wrong with the water. Oh, yeah? Where'd he go? He's going to test the pool.
I don't know. I give up. Give it a hint.
Well, you smart fuck.
You and your partner here are becoming a major annoyance to me.
And so's this man of yours. Now, my partner here is very headstrong. He's ready to go to the police.
The police? What for?
That truck that pushed me off the road. Now, he thinks that he was behind the wheel.
I'm sorry. I didn't know what was happening. That was Jesse's idea, not mine. I didn't know what was in his head. It was a stupid idea. I know it. I apologize. I'm sorry, really.
You have another problem.
What's that?
My partner believes that you were involved in Rebecca's death.
What? Me? Hey, now, wait a minute. I'm not involved. I don't want your boy going around making trouble. I mean, the idea that I'm involved, why, that could ruin what little I had left. Look, Mr. Griffin, just between you and me, I'll level with you. I can't cover the debts I've got. I'm in hock up to my neck. Rebecca's next tour was going to pull me out of the fire.
That's the saddest story I've heard all week.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means that I've read Christopher Wood's screenplay. A very thinly disguised version of the life and death of Rebecca Wilde. And I believe it. Every word of it. You are a wheeler, and a dealer, and a gouger who is not smart enough to steal honestly.
Now, take it easy. Just a minute.
I have a friend in the DA's department very interested in your manipulations.
You know what that kind of talk could get you?
It can get you 20 years. Davis, you, and that goon of yours, and yes, and Christopher Woods, the bunch of you. Vultures. Rebecca Wilde died a week ago. Does that mean anything to you? Nothing. Unless, of course, there's a little bit of money to be made out of it. I'd like to find one person, just one, who had a real feeling for that girl. Now, come on, Mike, let's get out of here. Now. You know, Davis, you were right. He is stupid. Hate to lose my temper that way, but those two... Let me see that eye. Oh, yeah. He clobbered you.
Well, you can't win them all.
Uh-huh. Did you find anything?
Yeah. Those cans of rat poison? You guessed it. Xenophren.
Uh-huh. You get a sample?
Yep, in my sock.
In your sock?
Well, I had to stash it somewhere. You know, after we get that lab report back, we got Davis nailed.
No, we'll check it out, but I don't think so.
Well, come on, you're kidding me. Why?
He let us walk out of there, didn't he?
Griff, inside. When I got here this morning, I left everything just the way I found it.
Is anything missing?
I don't know. You know my files. What happened to you?
Gracie, don't ask.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. We've really had a day, haven't we?
Griff, you're going to have a word with the cleaning lady. This is ridiculous.
You have a talk with somebody. What were they looking for? The screenplay.
What, Woods' screenplay?
Yeah, it's gone. They've taken it.
Well, if it was Davis, he must have flown over here because we just left him.
Look, Davis. They've taken it with the screenplay.
Oh, no, I've got it. Well, I wanted to read it, so I took it home last night. Was that okay?
Okay. Where is it?
Well, it's in my purse.
You think that's what they were after?
Yeah, I think so.
I'll tell you one thing, it's going to make a beautiful film.
Yes, it will.
There's one thing I don't understand, though.
What's that, if I may ask?
Well, how he wrote it. Christopher Woods. I mean, it's really a beautiful script. He really understood her. I always thought he was such a male chauvinist pig. Just goes to show you never can tell.
That's right, Gracie. You never can tell.
Why, Mr. Griffin, I didn't expect to see you for quite some time.
How are you, Mr. Woods?
What could I possibly have forgotten to tell you?
Well, those pills you take. You didn't tell me that you have a heart condition.
I only advertise my virtues.
Now, your doctor prescribed Xenophren for you, didn't he?
I don't know, did he? Why this sudden curiosity about something that is obviously none of your business?
Rebecca Wilde died from an overdose of Xenophren.
Get to the point, Griffin. What are you doing here?
Now, you knew that Rebecca was going to Dr. Reed for an operation. That afternoon that she was here, before she left, you substituted your medication for her tranquilizers, knowing that she was going to take them, and she did, and they killed her.
Wow. Well, suppose I did know about her going to doctor. Why would I want to kill the woman? She was the most important thing in my life.
No. No, the screenplay meant everything in the world to you. But you're having a problem with it. You didn't have a good enough ending. You needed a big finish. And then you had a great idea. Suppose Rebecca were dead. I mean, really dead. The public curiosity would be overwhelming. They'd flock to the theaters. You'd have a smash hit.
You missed your calling, Griffin. You should have spent your time writing horror stories.
Well, you wrote one, Mr. Woods, but you wrote yourself into a corner. The last page of this manuscript. You know, only Rebecca's murderer could possibly have known how her death would occur.
What?
And yet, the last scene describes how she died very accurately.
Why wouldn't it? It was based on fact.
Fact before the fact, Mr. Woods. She died after this screenplay was finished.
What?
Yes. You see, this script was written on 2 different typewriters. The last pages were typed on a loaner from the repair shop while they were replacing a key in your old one. Except that the loaner was returned to the repair shop the day before Rebecca died. You didn't write this play, did you? Very disappointing, Mr. Woods. To see a Pulitzer Prize winner become a cheap phony and not a very smart one.
You're not a very smart cop either, because if you had been, you would have rolled in here with at least a dozen squad cars. That was your big
mistake. Come on now, Mr. Woods. Everybody knows that I'm here. My associate, my secretary.
I'll tell them that you came by and then left.
Call Barney?
Yeah, we have at least a case of assault with a deadly weapon here.
Is that all? What about Rebecca Weil?
We have one more stop to make, the Westlake typewriter shop, and I hope we're not too late. Come on. All right. Come on, Woods. Up you go. Up.
Yes, this is the machine. How much do you want for it?
I'm sorry, but it's not for sale.
I must have this machine.
I'm sure you must have it, Miss Gray. We both know this typewriter's going to send you to jail, don't we? It's too bad. Really too bad the way you used Christopher Woods. A man of such great ego that he was ready to kill me. He was ready to admit killing Rebecca Weil, just so long as no one knew that someone else had written that screenplay of his, that masterpiece. And that's the real tragedy, because you didn't need anyone. You could have done it all on your own. It's a beautiful screenplay.
Yes, I wrote it. Every word. I could have had it all. Screenplay, recognition. Even that sick, tired old man to get me to the top. Except she was in the way. He was using me to get back on top. So that he could have her. To show off. So that he could prove he was still a man.
Too bad. Shall we?
Yes.
What a waste. What a waste.
How will the car buyers of Cannock in Staffordshire react to the high-octane sales spiel of a larger-than-life Las Vegas car salesman? Find out tonight at 8. Then at 9, Gene Hackman and Danny Glover star in the Vietnam War drama Bat 2-1. Coming up next, though, here on 5, a roundup of the latest news.
That's got his own. That's got his own.